For decades, Audrey Meadows was known as the quick-witted, sharp-tongued Alice Cramden on the legendary sitcom The Honeymooners. Her chemistry with Jackie Gleason, who played her husband Ralph, made them one of television's most iconic couples. Their banter was electric, their timing flawless, and together they created moments of comedy history that still make audiences laugh generations later. But behind the laughter, there was tension, admiration, and an unspoken truth that Audrey kept hidden for years, until she finally revealed what really happened between her and Jackie Gleason. When The Honeymooners premiered in 1955, no one expected it to become one of the most beloved sitcoms of all time. Jackie Gleason, already a major star from The Jackie Gleason Show, was known as the Great One, a larger-than-life performer with a booming voice and an ego to match. Audrey Meadows, however, was something different. Calm, elegant, and fiercely intelligent, she brought balance to Gleason's wild energy. She wasn't intimidated by him, and that's exactly what made their on-screen marriage so believable. Off-screen, though, their relationship wasn't always smooth. Gleason's temper was legendary in Hollywood. He was demanding, moody, and expected everyone around him to match his perfectionism. Jackie could be impossible, Audrey later admitted. One moment, he was the funniest man alive, and the next, he was furious because a line didn't land the way he wanted. But while many co-stars avoided him, Audrey stood her ground. "He respected me because I never let him bully me," she said. "That's what made our dynamic work, both on and off camera." Despite the fiery moments, Audrey had deep admiration for Gleason's talent. "He was brilliant," she confessed years later. "He understood timing, emotion, and comedy like no one else. But he was also deeply insecure. He wanted love from everyone, even when he pushed people away." She described him as a man trapped by his own genius, constantly torn between wanting control and fearing failure. Behind the scenes, Jackie Gleason often rewrote scripts at the last minute or changed scenes without warning. While that frustrated the crew, Audrey adapted quickly. "I learned to trust him," she said. "He might drive you crazy, but his instincts were usually right." Their trust built a kind of creative magic that audiences could feel, even in black and white. But Audrey also revealed that Gleason's larger-than-life personality often masked his loneliness. "People saw him as this powerhouse," she said, "but he was a very lonely man. He worked constantly and surrounded himself with people, but deep down, he was afraid of being forgotten." She shared how he would sometimes sit quietly after a long day of filming, lost in thought. "Those were the moments you saw the real Jackie, not the performer, but the man who just wanted peace." After The Honeymooners ended, both stars went their separate ways professionally, but the bond they shared never faded. Gleason went on to make films and television specials, while Audrey built a successful career in business and later television management, something rare for women in that era. Yet, whenever interviewers asked about Jackie, her eyes would light up with a mix of fondness and sadness. "He made me laugh more than anyone," she said, "and he made me angrier than anyone. But I wouldn't trade that experience for the world." In her later years, Audrey finally spoke openly about their complex friendship. "Jackie wasn't easy to love," she said, "but he was impossible to forget. Beneath all that bluster, there was a kind heart that very few people ever saw. I was lucky enough to see it." When Jackie Gleason passed away in 1987, Audrey was deeply moved. "It felt like losing a piece of my youth," she said quietly. "He was difficult, yes, but he was also extraordinary." At 73, Audrey Meadows finally told the truth that only she could, that behind the yelling, the jokes, and the chaos, there was mutual respect and real affection. "People think The Honeymooners was about a man and wife constantly fighting," she said. "But it was really about love, imperfect, loud, funny, and real."